everyone, this is me, Mary, and I am coming to you to make a card in your own homemade envelope. This is what I made. I made this. I cut out my own paper. I measured it, and as you can see, it's a perfect envelope. And I'm also going to make a liner to go in it. This is a card that I'm going to be sending to some friends of mine. It's a sympathy card. This is my first sympathy card. I am making this because I belong to a group called modpodge, and I am hosting for the first time it's called a black and white challenge with a little bit of a twist. And the twist is you can use color, just a little color, a lot of color, whatever it is you want. And it's just cards that we're making for times when you have to send those sympathy cards and want to express your condolence or your feelings to someone. And as you can see, the card fits perfectly into the envelope, and then you can just close it up. This envelope can be mailed, or you can just hand it to someone. It's nice, neat, and I know we all have lots of paper, ladies, lots of paper. It takes you no time. I just like making my own envelopes, not only because I'm cheap, but it's just part of my creativity, and I also get to use up some of my supplies. So let me get started with assembling the card. I'm going to show you what I picked out. And I used the Cricut Light cartridge Inspiration. My card base is cut out at 5 1/4. I want to say it's 5 1/4 by 8, but don't quote me on that. I'll have to get you the measurements for that. I cut out the Jesus from... First of all, I cut out an argyle pattern from, Cricut Wildlife. This is just the argyle pattern that I chose to cut out. And it is so cute. You see how they can just really make that black and white pop. I have the Jesus with his hands spread out. And then I also cut out this layer. I picked this because for sympathy, it just really just kind of spoke to me. I can't really say another reason why I even picked this out. What I'm going to be using is, since I'm almost out of my Elmer's, this is almost empty, so again, I'm going to have to use my trusty, crusty Scotch Quick Dry Glue. I love this glue. It's really wonderful. However, on paper, I don't really like it that much, but I did not really bring anything else. So you just use just a little. You really do. You just use just a little. First of all, let me show you. Let me put this together first. I'm going to just put a little glue on. First of all, I'm going to pop out all the pieces on this. Sorry about that. And and I do mean just a little, because this glue right here, it's okay, but I'd rather have the Tombow or something like that. And of course, I don't have it. Just a teeny tad, because this glue, it smears and then it can bulk up on paper, unless you're doing a really, really, really thick paper, and I'm not. This paper right here came from Recollection, so it's a pretty good brand. And you just put him on there. And then I picked the light blue for the silhouette background for my Jesus, and this is how it cuts out. And this is at 5 inches. I just cut him out at 5 inches, and then you just take it, put a little. You know what? I bet you guys would like to see me do this. I have to remember, I am at work. For those of you who don't know me, I am a proud housekeeper, and I scrapbook a lot at work in my closet. It's lunchtime now, so I feel perfectly safe. At least I'm not going over or stealing time, because I'm in the closet crafting. And just lay it down. It's really cute. I love the way that turns out, and this is the way it turns out. And then I'm not really waiting until it dries. I recommend that you wait for it to dry a little bit. But again, I don't want to use a lot of glue. I'm trying to use as little glue as possible. I will be sending these cards. We're doing a card swap, like I said, on modpodge, and the theme is black and white with a little bit of a twist. Okay, so this is my card. this is the card I chose to make for my black and white. Okay, that's my card. And I'm going to set this to the side and let it dry. In the meantime, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I made the envelope. And to make envelopes is very simple. I have a lot of my friends, they don't like making an envelope. And that's cool. If you don't like it, then please, by all means, don't do it. They're not that expensive. I just like to use every bit of my creativity. I have the Martha Stewart scoreboard. I mean, who doesn't have the Martha Stewart scoreboard, ladies? More sure we all do. I watched a video online where this one lady, she has it, but she changed the dimensions for the Martha Stewart scoreboard. This is the letter and envelope section, and it teaches you. It's got the measurements right here on this little triangle, what you do for a regular A2 size card, which is pretty much what I've made. However, she changed hers from 8.5 to just 8 1/4. She didn't cut it out the whole 1/2 inch. And this is what we got. This is her size card, her envelope, with the 8.5 by 8.5, scored at 3 3 5/8. And then this is the Martha Stewart one, and this is the paper at 8.5. No, yes, this is the paper at 7.5 by 7.5. And as you can see, this envelope is longer. I mean, look at the difference here. So I kind of like the way hers, because the reason why she changed the dimension, because she was talking about how much room the card actually had to move around in. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to get the paper. I got my Cutter Bee, cutter. Would help if I turn the right way. I'm going to extend my arm, and I'm going to measure out my paper. I'm just going to measure out my paper, and it is going to be, I picked this paper right here. My good friend, she bought it for me again. Don't know the name of it, but it's really cute paper. She gives me a lot. She lives in South Carolina, so I don't know. Do 8 1/4, and the quarter mark is the mark right before you get to the half inch mark. Okay. Miss Mary does not know how to measure. Don't ask me how I scrapbook. I have no idea. I always have to call my friends to teach me, to tell me how to do this ruler measurement thing. And I try to make sure I get it 8 1/4. Sometimes I have to check, ladies. Yep, 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. It must like you, ladies, because it did it right this time. 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. Okay. Alright, I scored that. Now, I'm getting out my little bone folder from the Martha Stewart scoreboard. And then what I'm going to do is, and she cut it out at 3 inches. Score it at 3. Then she turned the paper, quarter turn, and then she scored it at 5/8. So that's 1 5/8. Those little green dots on this board. I'm telling you guys, I don't know how to measure. I really, really don't, but I'm learning. So 3 inches, and then you turn it again, and then you score it at 3 5/8. Okay. Yay! I made it. I made it through that. Okay. Now let me put my little bone folder back, because if I don't, I will lose it. If I don't do it, I will definitely lose it. Okay. And what I like to do is go ahead and just fold on my score marks. I fold my envelope on my score marks. Okay. The scissors. I have to get my scissors out, which I put up, by the way. And you want to cut the little notches out. And the little notches is pretty much what makes you, when you fold your envelope, so that you won't have the bulkiness in it, you cut those little notches. And the little notches are the little bitty triangles that you'll see right here on the side, at the end of each fold. And what you do, you cut it and it makes a little triangle, and cut directly on that fold, because once you'll see if you ever make an envelope, because if you don't cut it correctly, it will bulk and it will not let you fold it. I'm trying to stay in frame here. It's not always easy when you're video. Boy, I tell ya, I enjoy making videos. I have a blast doing them. I like it almost as much as I do scrapbooking and crafting. And I have other crafts that I would love to show you. Okay, so you'll end up with something that looks like this. Looks like a triangle here. And then what you do is you take your sides, you fold them in. You bring up your middle piece, okay? And then there's your envelope. It's your cute little envelope. And I make all of my envelopes. So if you guys ever get anything from House Scrapper on modpodge, Miss Mary makes her own envelopes. I make them. I enjoy doing it. It's cheap. It's fun. It's beautiful. And when you put them, and when I take these to the post office, people, they are like, "Where did you get that envelope?" I'm like, "What's wrong with it?" They said, "No, it's beautiful. Simply beautiful." The post people, they getting ready. They look for me to come. And here we go. And then my card, as you can very well see, just slides off in there. And it'll have a cute little authentic envelope to go with the card that they can give to someone who's struggling or maybe going through something. Now I will have to come back and make the liner. I will show you how to make a liner, so it'll be even prettier. It won't be all just plain and white. And if I had brought a border punch, I would border punch around here, and it just really makes the envelopes pop, you guys. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's really quick and fast. I just showed you how to do it. You can get in contact with me through modpodge, and I can try to answer any questions that you have. In the meantime, okay, can't get in there. You guys have fun. Bye. Break time is over.